Hey, you guys. I hope you all are doing well. Hi, Natasha. How are you? I'm doing amazing because I finally washed my hair. I'm currently deep conditioning, so everything is good in this neighborhood. I feel like a brand new woman. We're going to jump right into today's video. This is actually going to be a short one, like 10 minutes or less. I'm going to get y'all in and out. But before we start, I just want to let you all know that if you have high porosity, high density hair, thick hair strands, I'm doing a high porosity masterclass on Friday. If you're someone who feels like your hair just eats product up and then you can't feel the products on your hair like a day or two later, this class is for you. I'm going to show you how to layer products, what types of products you should be looking for to help you retain moisture in your high porosity hair, and also like let you know what you should be doing on a weekly, on a monthly, on a quarterly basis to make sure you're optimizing your high porosity hair's health. You can purchase your pre-order seat at the link in the description box. Yeah, Karen, thank you so much. She says I look great. I appreciate it. I feel wonderful. Oh my God. You know, like when you first detangle your hair and everything's all nice and the curls are just popping. I actually can't wait to style my hair. I'll probably end up doing it. I don't know. I might do it tonight. We'll see. Tanisha says I'm doing the same thing, deep conditioning. All right, so let's jump into today's video. Cassandra, if you have low porosity, high density hair, I definitely recommend the low porosity masterclass on how to build a regimen because your porosity is the most important when it comes to building a regimen. So if you haven't got that yet, you can purchase in the description box. And this class will also help you with your high density hair as well. So you can purchase your pre-order if you like. I have low porosity thick hair. Should I buy the low porosity class from Friday? And I just answered that. Hope, I would definitely recommend buying the low porosity masterclass first. Yes, perfect. Okay, cool. So today's video, how to speed up detangling time. Now, this kind of came to me because I just went like 15 days between wash days. I don't even remember when my wash day was. That's how long it had been. And so I knew that my hair wasn't that tangled though because of some new things I've been implementing into my regimen. So my hair hasn't been getting tangled. But I wanted to do a video all about how to speed up detangling time without actually increasing breakage or increasing like single strand knots or split ends because you're just ripping through your hair, because I am the queen of detangling tangled, matted hair. My hair tangles very like a lot, and I'm also the type of person where I have been, let me reframe. I have been the type of person who would detangle like every 16 days. My New Year's resolution is to detangle my hair every 7 days because I really just want to get out of that mindset of waiting so long. Yeah, we're gonna get into today's video. So the first tip for detangling your hair quicker is to give yourself a time limit. I find that if you just go into the shower without a plan, like, oh, I'm just going to do whatever, like, I'm going to take as long as it needs to take, that can be helpful if your hair is just ridiculously tangled. Like maybe you just took out a protective style and like you can't really like plan for that, but you should have a general amount of time that it takes for you to detangle your hair. Now for me, this is for me personally, so it's not going to be for everybody. I know there's some people who can detangle their hair in like 15, 30 minutes. For me, it takes me about 2 hours to detangle my hair when it's at the amount, when it's as tangled as it was just now. So it really like varies. 45 minutes is like the best I've ever done with my whole head. 45 minutes detangling is like crazy. It always takes me at least an hour and a half, sometimes an hour and 15. That's like my average. And then if it's a little bit longer, about 2 hours. So I will plan for that. Like I'll make a time limit. I'll check the time as I'm doing my hair to make sure I'm on track. I like to listen to TV shows or listen to something that I've heard before. So I'm not trying to watch TV as I detangle because that makes things take way longer when you're preoccupied and you're trying to do too many things at once. I find that having a shower mirror really helps to speed up your detangling time because you can actually see what you're doing. So as you're parting your hair, you can see what's happening, and you also can see when your section is fully detangled and you can move on to the next section as opposed to just constantly like combing and combing and combing and combing when that section's been detangled. So something else that I've realized is finger detangling is great for like the big knots. I just saw angel number. Finger detangling is great for the big knots and for like maybe the tangles that you can't really get out with the comb. The matting is what I'm talking about. But once you break through some of the bigger tangles and you break through the matting a little bit, you can then go in with something like the Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush. This will definitely help you speed up your detangling. Even if you have spiderweb tangles, even if you have matting, like just using the top little bit of teeth and kind of like taking it from ends to root will really get the tangles out. So I definitely recommend making sure that you're using the best method for you. Like wide tooth combs for me don't work. They just make my hair more tangled. I hate detangling with the wide tooth comb, but that's just me personally. So make sure that you're using something that works well with like your hair texture. I find that using super slippery conditioners are, of course, necessary. I'm going to give 2 conditioner recommendations. So if you haven't tried already, the Curl Origin Double Moisture Mask, this is a deep conditioner. It works very well as a detangling conditioner as well. And it helps you skip a step. So you don't have to apply a detangling conditioner, detangle, rinse it out, and then apply your deep conditioner. Like right now, I detangled with that deep conditioner and then just went straight into deep conditioning because it was already in my hair. Or you can use the Mael Mungango Oil Hydrating Conditioner. This is a really great conditioner with lots of slip. It's pretty universal from what I've seen, and it might be pretty good for your hair. If you have like high porosity hair or if your hair craves thicker conditioners, maybe that won't be the best for you, but it still might because honestly, even though it's a more like, I would say it's a medium weight conditioner, it has lots of slip. And that's what you need when you're going to be detangling quickly. You want something that's going to melt into your strands immediately. It shouldn't take any time for it to take to your hair, so you can just go straight into working on that section. And speaking of sections, you want to make sure that you're sectioning your hair when you're detangling. One, so you don't get confused with what you're working on, because when your strands are like all over the place, it becomes very easy to rip the strands out or break them off once you get towards the root and you're using your tool to detangle. So I would recommend even pre-sectioning your hair. That way you don't have to worry about sectioning as you go. So for me, I always part right down the middle. I part that in half so that I have quadrants, and then I'll usually stop there, and I'll break every quadrant into 3 rows. So like I'll have this quadrant, let's say here, this will be a row, this will be a row, and then this will be a row. And then that's how I detangle. So I already have like a game plan of how I want everything to be sectioned. And you could even like section everything at once, or you can section half, like, you know, do the bigger sections and then, you know, section the smaller sections as you go. If you have like severe tangling, usually that's letting you know that you need a trim or a haircut. So, I say that, but it's either you need a trim or a haircut, or you just haven't found your detangling routine. Because I know that there was a time where it would take me so long to detangle, but I kind of wanted it to because I would finger detangle. And that takes a long time. That just takes a long time. So I would say that if you notice like detangling is more of like a struggle, that really is letting you know that your ends might be catching on each other. They might be old. Having single strand knots makes detangling really hard. Like when you're detangling, if you're causing more single strand knots, that's letting you know that you need a trim as well, or a haircut, meaning like, you know, more than an inch of hair needs to be cut off. Or you just need to optimize your detangling routine. And to do that, you would want to take some of the tips that I provided so far and implement them one at a time to see what works best for you. So for me personally, what works the best is having a time limit so that I'm working diligently and swiftly, and not just going off into la la land, daydreaming and just, you know, doing whatever. And also the Felicia Leatherwood brush. But what I was gonna say, actually, if you have severe tangling, the Diva Curl Wash Day Wonder products can be really great for just giving you that extra slip. Now I know Diva Curl has this, you know, this thing going on right now. So I would be very cautious of using the product, but I just wanted to throw it out there in case you're someone who just like you are at your wit's end and you need something with like extra slip. I'm trying to think if there's anything comparable to that, and not off the top of my head, but maybe I know that there are some people who have done like dupes of that product. So maybe you could YouTube some videos if you don't want to use Diva Curl, which I understand. I understand that. So yeah, I think those are all my tips on speeding up your detangling. Let me see. Also, if you're someone who your hair tangles up again after you detangle, you either want to put your hair into like mini buns and clip them so that they stay detangled. You can put your hair in twists, put your hair in braids. I like to put them into little buns and then clip them. That way, I just find that it just saves more time. Having to twist all of my hair up just takes way more time than necessary. So yeah, those are my tips. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I will take a few questions. Jay says, at what point do you detangle, before you wash or after? So that's a great question. I find that detangling after you wash actually speeds up the detangling time because your hair is completely clean and can accept the slip and the moisture of your conditioner. So there was a point in my journey where I detangled before shampooing, and that was because my hair was just so, it would get so tangled, I didn't know how to like untangle it after that. So I would do it before, and that took significantly longer than me detangling after my shampooing. So I recommend doing it after you wash. Beth says, in your experience, does pre-pooing help with detangling or combat the tangling altogether? Does pre-pooing help with detangling or combat the tangling altogether? So in my experience, pre-pooing doesn't help with tangles at all. And that's just, I feel, because my hair just tangles a lot. No matter what I do to it, it's gonna get tangled. So I've kind of put a lot of my energy into just learning how to work with my tangles. And I think I would probably be able to better show this in a video because it's like a process of how my hair tangles. Like, my hair is matted, so first I'll break out the big chunks of the mat, then I'll put some water on it, put some conditioner on it, work from the ends, comb as much as I can out with my brush, and then when I get to a point where I feel like my brush isn't working, I'll go back to kind of breaking it apart again, and then use the brush, and then it completely releases all the tangles. So that's my detangling routine. Pre-pooing doesn't help me specifically, but if you're someone, I would just recommend trying it to see if it works for your hair. And if you're gonna pre-poo, I would be cautious of using like oils to pre-poo, because especially if you're low porosity or medium porosity, like we spoke about in that low porosity and medium porosity masterclass, our main goal with this porosity of hair is to minimize product buildup. So if you're putting oils and things that are gonna build up on the hair right before you shampoo, you're essentially making your job harder and possibly making it inevitable that you're gonna leave a product barrier on your hair. So I would use water soluble ingredients, basically products with water as the first ingredient. Maybe like organic things like aloe vera, if that works for you. But just I wouldn't recommend oils, basically is what I'm saying. Do you detangle midweek with the brush? No, absolutely not. And this is for my hair specifically. I know that I feel like there's like not everybody's natural hair can be manipulated dry, and that's my natural hair. I can't, once my hair is in a style, like that's it. So in order for me to detangle it, I have to do it with water and conditioner. If you don't experience that, if you can, like, you know, brush through your hair without breakage, and you know your hair is breaking when it's like snagging, when you hear popping and crackling as you're brushing through your hair, if you can do that, then I would definitely recommend detangling midweek so your tangles don't get too set together. But if it causes breakage, I definitely wouldn't do that. And dang, there was something else I wanted to say about that. Hopefully it comes back. You can detangle with the rinse out conditioner or a deep conditioner. It really is whatever has the most slip and moisture. There are some great rinse out conditioners that have great slip and moisture. So it's really like you can use either as long as it works well for your hair. Let's see. If I'm hydrating my hair daily, should I again detangle or just hydrate? My hair seems to tangle as soon as it is detangled. Tracy, if your hair is tangling up as soon as it's detangled, to me that sounds like maybe you need a trim or your hair is drawing up on itself because it needs more moisture. So I would say you don't want to detangle too often because that's going to cause breakage. The more you manipulate curly hair, every bend and like every curl of your hair strand is an opportunity for breakage. So you want to minimize manipulation as much as possible if like length retention is a goal for you. So I wouldn't detangle daily, like maybe every 3 days or so, every 3 or 4 days, depending, if you absolutely have to. But really, it just sounds like if your hair is tangling as soon as it's detangled, there's something wrong. It's different from detangling. That's not the problem. It's probably like the health of the hair, how well the regimen is actually working for you. So I would figure that out, and then that should probably help with the tangling. And I do remember what I wanted to say. Another way to speed up your detangling time is to minimize tangling altogether throughout the week. So for me, you guys may have noticed like my hair, how it got older. So it started out as like a braid out. That was so long ago. It started out as a braid out. It was like stretched. My curl pattern was stretched. If I do that for 7 days, usually it's longer though, because I'll keep the braids in for about 5 to 6 days and then do the braid out for like 4 to 5 days. But usually if I just make sure I detangle when my hair is still stretched and the curls are still relatively loose, detangling is a breeze. And that is this hairball that I showed to you guys once already. This is about how much hair I'll lose after like 7 to 10-ish days. I never count, but this is about the average amount of hair. And then this last time, who knows how long it took me to detangle, honestly. And this was about how much hair that I lost. So it's about double. And I think I went about double the time between detangling. And this one, my hair was a bit more tangled, but still relatively stretched. But basically what I'm saying is keeping your hair in a style that keeps the hair from tangling to begin with is going to help a lot. You don't want to like, if your hair tangles massively when it's in a wash and go, you want to minimize how often you're doing wash and goes, or at least if you're going to do a wash and go, don't try to do a 10 or 11 day wash and go. Like maybe do it for 3 days and then co-wash and reset your hair into a stretch style if that's what your hair prefers. Yes, Beth, if you're interested in curl coaching, you can email me at hello@PowerInYourCurl.com. And within that email, you can just share that you're looking to learn more information, and I'll make sure that I'll get back to you and we can discuss further about your hair from that point. Alrighty, so let's see. I'm gonna take one more question. Jay says I detangle quite quickly in comparison to most naturals, which is probably why I have so much breakage during the process. Yes, if you're experiencing breakage, you definitely want to slow down. Definitely. Even with that wash day that I just had, there was some breakage, which I expected because I waited so long, but it was like very minimal. Like I like to count. So I'll make sure that I'm like, if I see breakage, I'm like keeping in my mind like a tracker of how much I saw. It was probably like just like, I don't know. I didn't see a lot, maybe like 5 strands, if that. And that's just what I saw. Of course, there's probably some that goes down the drain that I don't see, but for the most part, I saw long strands. So you should not, breakage is, you can't completely avoid it, but it shouldn't just be a constant thing where every time you touch your hair, you're seeing breakage. The email for curl coaching is hello@PowerInYourCurl.com. And it's in my description box. So this is the last question. I have low porosity hair and I'm very proud. I finally learned how to take care of it. So I'm proud to have low porosity, fine strands, medium density. And then my curl pattern is like a mix of S curls that are like loose to tight and like spiral curls. So I'm gonna head out, you guys. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have not pre-ordered your seat for the High Porosity Masterclass, please click the link in my description box and get your seat. And if you have low porosity hair, I highly recommend getting that masterclass because we break it down, girl, we break it down. It'll save you a lot of time and money trying to figure it out on your own. So I love you guys so much. I hope you have a good night and I will see you tomorrow at 6:05 as usual.